everybody doing? Let me just get this YouTube figured out and we'll get this party going. Give me 1 second. All right. Okay. We've got it figured out. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Great morning. Good morning, Fabrice. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Bill. It's nasty cold out here today. It's supposed to be like 49 degrees tomorrow, which I'm not used to this cold. Charlotte typically isn't that cold. So it's just really, really freezing out here today. Oddly, this weekend, it snowed where I'm from, and I'm from the desert in India, so it was odd. I mean, it was like hailstorms and snow. The whole city was baffled. Everybody was recording stuff. It was just crazy. So yeah. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, George. Good morning, everybody. What's up, everybody? How's it going? I'm excited for a fun day today. Let's see how today turns out. Lots of fun setups today. Let's get this party started. So let's start with NQ. I've been looking at NQ, but even more than that, I've been looking at the Qs just because I know a lot of people here don't trade futures. So let's look at the Qs and simplify things a little bit. I will get rid of some of these lines. Give me 1 second. All right. So I don't know about you guys, but I prefer a very clean chart. I don't really like it when there's just too many things on my chart. So yeah, the Qs are gapping down a little bit today. It is a gap and go. We are a little bit extended. So now one way to look at it, one way to measure if we're truly extended is, sometimes daily kind of can be misleading with all the gaps and stuff. We don't recognize it, but one way to look at it is how far we are from the 10 EMA. In this case, the 10 EMA doesn't seem to be super far away. But on a weekly chart, I mean, guys, come on, we could look at this and be like, yeah, we're extended, right? So 375 is definitely viable. Also, if you look at it from a wave count perspective, this is a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So right now we've got that 5-wave completion. We might get that ABC correction and then a pop higher. But yeah, so today seems to be like a fun day for a pullback. Now, with that being said, I want to find good pullback candidates, right? Like I don't want to be looking for bull moves. I want to be looking, just because I know the broader markets can pull back a little bit. So I want to find good, I guess, tickers that can pull back. So let's go explore that. It's like a fun day for a pullback. Now with that, give me 1 second. I don't know why my YouTube started talking. It's been on mute. All of a sudden it starts talking. All right. Sorry, I'll just put my thing on mute. Okay, cool. Awesome. So if you guys have any tickers really that you'd like to take a look at, let's go check it out. I think it's going to be a fun bear day today. So I'm excited. I'm really looking. I'm just, bear plays right at open. That's what I'm looking forward to. SPY, also the same exact thing. We're kind of extended. We're in that overbought territory. We need a pullback and we're getting one. So yeah, on SPY, I would think maybe a pullback to 445 range is definitely valid. I don't think we're going to get that today, but eventually we should see that something down here to the 20 EMA and then a bounce. So that's what I'm looking for, right? So we'll see. Yeah. Let's go see the futures. So futures, let's go check out the hourly chart. A 15-minute has this beautiful head and shoulders. Hourly has this beautiful head and shoulders. I am looking for this range to break today. And if it does, I think it's going to be exciting. So, I think I've mentioned this time and time again. I really, really, really like this pattern and then a breakdown of that. So yeah, it's doing something similar to that, and I really like that. So I will be looking out for this today. And so, just leave this line on your charts and see if we can break down. So I'd open, if we just break down and collapse, then I feel like we're going to have a good, decent bear day. If we start bouncing from here, then maybe not. This is the area that I think 16,000 is the area that I think we should get rejected off of. If we start getting buying coming in on top of this, then I think we can take off again. So that's another area that I will be looking for. So let's just put a line there, just to be safe. Here we go. There we go. Okay, cool. So these are my ranges today. If you guys are futures traders, definitely check it out. All right, let's go check out our usual suspects. Let's go look at NVIDIA real quick because it's got that bear play on it. And then I will be able to take a look at any of your other tickers. NVIDIA. So it's not really gapping down, but I am really watching for a bear swing trade today, swing setup today. So the idea here, guys, is to do something like this. $1.2. Yeah, something like this. Again, I don't know how feasible this is, or I don't know how or if it's going to fill me or not. I mean, it is a double bottom. We're retesting the neckline right now. I don't know if this is going to be a 100% winner trade. So, but I'm gonna set up something like this today, especially today if we take this candle out. So, I am looking for that. For day trade, there's not a great gap. I don't really have much of a play here. Like the Qs and the SPY, I feel like I like those better more than NVIDIA today. So I don't really have a play here. We'll leave it alone. Let's check out Netflix, the net of Flixes. Not a great gap, not a gap in any direction for that matter, but I would really love a pullback. Let's move Netflix up. I think I would really love a pullback after that many green days in a row. Weekly moving average, yeah, it's at resistance. Yeah, I feel like we could get that pullback today on Netflix. So I'll keep an eye out for this guy on a bear move down. So usually when we have spin top candles like these at the top, and we do have that, I would prefer a gap down, much rather a gap down than just a no gapper day. So I would much rather have, I mean, I would have really loved it if it was gapping down to 475. So I'll keep an eye out for this at this level. Let's just set an alert. So if I were you, this is exactly how I'd play it. I would add an alert at 475 and crossing down. And we're not that far off. We're only 3 points and Netflix can get going. So we're crossing down. Let's see if Netflix can pull back down, right? So, and then I'll come back and visit it. My target would be 467 today for a day trade. So let's see if that works out. All right, let's get lows off of our board. Not much to look at on DKNG. Let me know if you guys have any tickers. I don't see any of you guys posting anything. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Daniela. Good morning, Anne. Anne says it's cold in Atlanta too. I know, it's like freezing cold. What's going on? Marie says, I'm from India, Gujarat. Marie, it snowed in Rajkot. Can you believe that? What? Like, how crazy is that? I know, it's insane. People were taking pictures of it. It's crazy. All right, let's look at VLT. Sorry, guys. I just had to sneeze real quick. Okay. Let's check out VLT. Not too much of a gap, but I feel so if I had to play this thing today, I would look for a bullish continuation. We're at a decent level of support, I would say. Let me see. Let me look at the weekly. Is this a 52-week low or historic low? Yeah, maybe a bullish continuation. We're extended in the bear direction. I would think we pull up today. Um, unless this is a news driven ticker, I don't really have much on it. I would look to play it bullish. If the markets decide to go bullish today, I would look for a bullish continuation. I would not want to mess with this bearish. It just doesn't have that bear feel to it. Other than the 52-week low, I don't see anything else that's in that bear direction that's playing out positively. So yeah. All right, George says Tesla. Let's look at Tessie real quick. Tesla is at this beautiful, beautiful location. So I was looking at it last night and I was trying to decide if I want to get out of my long-term shares, some of it, that I bought just recently. And I hate selling long-term things. I mean, the whole point of it being long-term is so that you hold on to it forever, right? So I hate getting in and out of it. And but it's coming into some sort of resistance. It's at this trend line currently. We still have a little bit more room to go, maybe one more push up, but Tesla's at that interesting location, right up here. I wonder what's going to happen. Or right up here, we fill that gap. I wonder what's going to happen. So it depends on where we go. One thing I'd be watching for is this guy right here. So if Tessie takes out this little chunk today and goes down today with the broader markets, I would be really watching out for this trend line. So let's see. And I mean, we can see how like the bull volume's decreasing, the bears are kind of sort of stepping in. Let's see if Tesla can hold and get rejected over here or just break down on this trend line. I don't really see anything today for a day trade. Still an inside candle, nothing much. But yeah, it's looking interesting. Lots of consolidation in this range. So I'd be watching out for certain range breaks. But as far as a directional play is concerned today, I mean, it would be anybody's guess. Your guess is as good as mine. I can't tell you which direction it's going to go in. So yeah, Tesla I really like playing Tesla on gap days. When it doesn't have any gaps, it just kind of feels weird. But this is a lot of consolidation. So today might be the day it makes a large move in either direction, up or down. So let's see which way it wants to go. We might get lucky with a 10 EMA, and today might be the day that we trail a lot on Tesla. Anytime you have consolidation, so like for example here, where precisely these next two candles are consisted within this big candle, right? They comprise of this price range. And so then what happens when you break out of that consolidation of these two candles? You have a big candle in either direction, up or down, doesn't matter. We could do up or down, but this is a solid consolidation range. So we'll see which way it wants to go. All right, let's look at my little darling AMD. How dirty is this thing, man? I call this move like I could sniff it and it went without me. So for those of you that aren't following my trading from or that weren't there last week, I got in bullish off of this breakout, actually off of this hammer. The 10 EMA strategy. That's what I did. So I got in bullish with my stop below here. No, my stop was at 95, I think. And then I moved my stop up when it started coming back in, moved my stop up to 100, stopped me out, and then went to my target. But for a day trade today, AMD is looking a lot more interesting than anything else. So I am looking for a pullback on this guy. Let's see if we get that pullback today. If you are a swing trader and you prefer to trade a little bit less risky, AMD is a beautiful monthly ticker. This will have a follow through, guys. So I mean, the monthly chart looks phenomenal for bullish continuation. I'd be bullish in this thing with every penny I have. Uh, I'm not saying I'd be risking, a whole lot, but I'd want to be bullish this thing. So I'd be buying the dips for sure. So yeah, I like this chart for a pullback today on a day trade, but long term, definitely bullish on AMD. Another ticker that I want to show you guys, I was looking at yesterday, is Eli Lilly. Keep an eye out for this guy. It's looking very, very interesting right now. It's got this thing going on. Right now, I mean, you can get pretty precise if you want to. It's got this consolidation going on. It's got this smaller pennant pattern going on inside it. It's also got this cup and handle situation going on. So I'd be waiting for a breakdown, a trap, and then a continuation higher. So keep an eye out for Eli Lilly. It's got crazy consolidation. It could break out in either direction. So yeah, definitely watching out for this guy. Cup and handles, in my opinion, usually when we have decreasing volume like this for the handle, it turns into a better play. So it's looking good. Again, I don't know if I want to trade Eli Lilly for a day trade, but for a swing trade, it looks good. All right. Cool deal. Amazon. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving break and a good Cyber Monday. I was allowed to not buy anything. Jay strictly put a restriction on there. Otherwise, it would have been bananas. But there wasn't anything interesting that I found anyway. So that's my way of just me consoling myself. Anyways, Amazon with a cute little gap and go. It's looking good for a pullback. I'm going to move this guy a little bit up ahead. I like Amazon, Netflix, and AMD for a bear play. And NVIDIA, if it sets up, I will set it up for a swing trade. So all right, let's go check out. So for Amazon, here's how I would play it. So for a day trade, I'm just gonna take all at the 10 EMA on the daily, depending on where my stop has to go. But 1.2 hours is what I would do. It's looking a little bit gap and goey. It did make a new high. It's had 4, 5, 6 days of green candles. Decrease in green volume looks good for a pullback. I like it for a pullback, especially if the broader markets open with a gap and go. Yeah, definitely like it. Corey says MU's gap. Let's check out MU. Micron. I haven't looked at Micron. Ooh, whoa! What happened here? Oi, this doesn't look very good. It's gapping down into some support, but guys, I mean, it's got a lot of bulls that might get spooked. This gap is so big. I'm scared to short it right at open, but I feel like that might be the way to go, Corey. I would want to see some buying come in, but I don't know if it's going to get any buying at open. You know what I mean? Because it's just got so many bulls. And even if you think like 10% of these people want to get out right at open and create a panic, then that'll invite more bears. So I feel like it could have a decent run down. Why is there a gap down, Corey? Do you know? I also know there was a gap on Boeing. Let's go look at Boeing also. I'm not sure why there is a gap down. Well, let me see. Hold on. Let's see what Corey says. No, you don't know either. Yeah. I don't know why there's a gap down, but whatever it is, I mean, I don't think we're going to get that buying that we need for us to sell off. So if we do get that buying, I consider ourselves really lucky. But MU definitely has to go on the list. Thank you for pointing me to it. I don't know if we're gonna. So ideally, I would want some buying come in, and then I want to go short off of that, right? So at 1 o'clock, I mean, on the 1 minute chart, I'm gonna look for some buying to come in, and then short below that. That's the only way I would do it. Just because it's a pretty large gap. However, I mean, it's got a lot of greenage that could be trapped right at open. So maybe we see a big sell-off and then some buying come in. Either way, short is the way to go. I think that's what I would do today. Oh, it updated its forecast. That's a cool way to rig earnings, right? Like, that's the only way you could break it. All right, let's go look at Apple. Apple has a cute pattern. So unlike the markets, Apple's got, you know, a little bit more of a bearish candleage, and I feel like it could have a pullback today, especially if the broader markets pull back. Apple can pull back. This is a pretty decent doji. I like the way it's looking. Again, if it wants to continue higher, I'm willing to play this in either direction. So, you know, this is one of those tickers that I like playing bullish. I mean, I guess everybody likes playing it bullish because it's just always bullish, but it's just, it's not like if I was looking at this pattern, let's say on a different ticker, well, that wasn't Apple, like SPY or the Qs or whatever, I would not be wanting to trade this bearish after that many days, after that many red candles in a row, especially when this candle is this low volume. I would not, well, I mean, I guess it's a holiday weekend. It makes sense, but you know, it's just been a couple of red candles with really low volume. I feel like this could continue higher. I have no reason to short this unless we take out this candle today. Then maybe down to like 182. But even then, it doesn't really have too big of a range. You know, neat little double bottom. I feel like we could continue higher. I'm not really interested in trading Apple today. We've got a few tickers that we can look at. Q's being my #1 favorite, and then comes Amazon, Netflix, MU, and then Nvidia. Also AMD. So we've got a couple of tickers that we can trade bears today. All right. Let's go look at ZS and PLTR for YouTube real quick. Is ZS the Z-scaler one? Yeah. Whoa. How? What happened here? Did you guys hear about CrowdStrike? And it's puts. Like somebody bought a whole bunch of puts on CrowdStrike for earnings. It's got an anticipated 8% move today. I mean, well, by Thursday. We'll see. Zscaler, definitely a sweet little retest gap. What we're gonna do here, who asked for Zscaler? Hold on. It's Rado. Okay, all right, cool. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna wait for some buying to come in, just like MU, because it's a pretty large gap, right? I mean, it's what, a 5% gap down. And I don't know if you're gonna have that opportunity to short this right at open, but this is a pretty decent gap down off of earnings. I get it, but yeah, I'm gonna wait for some buyers to step in, some bulls to be trapped, and I don't think it'll be a lot of buyers that'll step in. So somewhere around, I would just set up an entry somewhere around 185 and see if we can get that rollover. But yeah, I think bearish is the way to go on this guy. We're at resistance. We're pulling back. Makes sense after that many weeks of buying coming in. If you were a buyer for this week, heck, this week, you would want to get out today. You would not be sitting in losses. You would get out today. So, I would wait for some bulls to be trapped around 185 is the range that I would look for a rollover today for a day trade. And if we get, sell off right at open, then I would wait for some buying to come in and then look for that rollover. So let's say instead of buyers stepping in to roll over and us shorting here at open, what if we do this? Well, then you can't short right at open. You got to wait for some buyers to come in and see if you can roll over from there. Right? So you got to find a play in here somewhere on this side. So that's what I mean. But definitely a neat little gap. I really like this gap down. I will add it to our list also and visit it. Keep an eye out for you all throughout the day. There was another ticker, I think PLTR. Let's check out PLTR. PLTR is at 20, isn't it? 19. Okay. It's I don't know what to say. It's extended. Lots of people have been bullish on this guy, and I mean for all the right reasons. I get it. I could see it. PLTR is going to pull back a little bit. However, I wouldn't expect it to pull back a whole bunch unless it's on some bad news or something. I wouldn't expect it to just come down to like $10 again. I would expect for this to hold and then eventually we continue higher. This is a pretty decent consolidation zone that we broke out of. So I would think that this $14 range holds. So yeah, today I feel like we could just hover around this range. We might get a pullback. If the broader markets pull back, I would play this, but otherwise I'm not really in love with anything here. I guess it's a sweet little doji. We could come back down a little bit, but it's, 4 days in a row of red candles. Even if profit taking is happening, yes, today may not be the day to be shorting this heavily after that many days in a row. So yeah, for a day trade, I don't really see a play. I mean, unless we're playing it bullish, then it makes sense. But otherwise, no, not really. All right. Let's check out Adobe and Coin. Oops, sorry. Adobe. What? This is pretty cute. Really cute gap down. Yes, I like this. Favorite gap. Let's add it to the list. Absolute favorite gap off the day. I would want to look for a bear move right at open. That's exactly what we should do. And our target should be 600. So a 10-point move. If that's viable, if this setup is viable at open. This is exactly how I would play it. Lots of indecision, lots of indecision. Let's see what the volume looks like. Volume, it's low, it's fizzing out. We're extended to the bull side. What does the weekly look like? Yeah, definitely a sweet gap and go. Adobe has to be my #1 play right at open. I will be looking for a short on it. And you can too play the same exact setup, and there you go. All right, we have one more ticker before I have to say goodbye to you guys. So let's do that. Let's look at Coin and then we'll go back to Adobe. Coin, I would look for a pullback, even though it's a sweet little gap up. I know crypto has been doing phenomenal things lately, but I'd be looking for a pullback. It's extended. So if the markets pull back, I would be looking for a pullback. That's what I would be doing. All right, guys, it's time for me to say goodbye to you and stop this live stream, but I will see you again next Tuesday. I hope everybody stays warm and cozy and, all right, see you guys next Tuesday.